Good afternoon. Welcome back to Moneycontrol's live stream. You're watching Closing Bell with me, Lavisha Darad. Well, we have a confident close of green today, and Nifty and Sensex have extended the gains to the second straight day. Sensex closed with about 1,000 points gain, and Nifty is also closed above that 22,800 mark. We did open above that 22,650, then moved on to 22,700, and again crusaded above that 22,800 too. Advances have outnumbered declines 4:1. That is the ratio, and IT and banks have led majority of the bulk of the market recovery. And overall market recovery also stood good. Bulls have retained their confidence given that we did start with a global handover, which was quite good. We saw that the Hang Seng Index especially, it was at a 3-year high on Chinese economic outlook, which was quite good. A 2% uptick that did come in for the Hang Seng Index too. Dollar Index, that is also a plus for the Indian markets because it is hovering around at 103 levels, which is around a 5-month low. So yes, good participation coming in from the broader end of the markets also, which have added flavor to the overall market texture. While both the mid-cap and small-cap indices have outperformed the headline indices, but we saw a small-cap especially that has been stood out as the major outlier. If you look at some of the top gainers on the Nifty 50, ICICI Bank with about 3% gains at this point of time, M&M with about 3% gains, L&T, Shriram Finance, Tata Motors extending its gains from yesterday, and today also it's standing up about 2.5% gains. However, on the losing end of the Nifty 50, we can see the likes of Bajaj, Finserv on the insurance buyout news that has succumbed to the selling pressure. We can see 1.4% downtick coming in for Bajaj, Finserv. Bharti Airtel also with about 0.7% cut, and Tech Mahindra also with about more than 0.5% cut. But without much further ado, let's quickly get on board with our market expert of the show. We have Jay Thakkar, Head Derivatives and Quant Research of ICICI Securities, joining us. Jay, good afternoon. Second day of green for the markets. Do you believe that this turnaround is quite sustainable this time?
Hi, good afternoon to you, Lavisha. Thanks for having me on your show. We already had a view of 22,800 to 23,000, and in the past 2 weeks we have been saying that. In fact, last week as well, I was on the closing show with Nandit. I had mentioned the view that 22,800, 23,000 levels are quite likely on the Nifty, and there were a couple of reasons for it which are playing out. The first reason is that the DXY has corrected from or has fallen back from 110 to 103 levels. Then it was 104 levels. Second is the IVs have pulled off globally. I mean, even if you look at the CVO index, which has fallen from 30 levels now. India, which has fallen from 19. The IVs have fallen from 31 to maybe now 12 odd levels. The crude oil prices, Brent especially, is 75 levels. So fundamentally, these all are quite positive. In fact, RBI has been supporting from the OMO perspective, and the WPI and IIT numbers have been quite positive for the economy. So India perspective, there has been quite many positives. The only negative which has been so far until yesterday was the FISL figure, which was again negative yesterday's earnings as well. As far as the equity cash segment is concerned, otherwise the bounce back may likely to continue until 23,000, 23,100. So 22,850 has come. Another 150 to 250 points can be ruled out, and on Bank Nifty 50,000 can be ruled out. Now there is outperformance. I mean, mid and small cap indices are so far underperformed this recent bounce, and I think now they are likely to catch up. The PSU sector as well as mid and small cap indices, they are likely to bounce back, and I have a target of 11,450, 11,500 on mid cap select Nifty. And the PSU index is also likely to bounce back. So most of the beaten down names are likely to bounce back. It's just that we need to see the selective auto names, that is two-wheelers and the IT, whether they are managing to bounce back quite well or not. Otherwise, most of the sectors are very much right to further continue their short covering. And you see that further around coming in the capital gains sector as well, wherein you have seen a lot of accumulation of shorts. So I think as this round can continue, any dips towards say 22,000, 600-700 range should be utilized. The buying opportunity, taking a step to stop loss for 20,300, targeting 23,100. On Bank Nifty, I think likely to below 4,500. That should be the stop loss for a target of 50,000. One can go long there. On mid cap select Nifty, one can place a stop loss below 10,950 and go long there for say 11,450.
That's right. You mentioned that, about the broader end of the markets that, we can see certain extension of the rally also. But what about the valuations? Because that was one of the pain points that, Nifty's valuation is already below its 5-year historical averages. But small cap and mid caps continue to still trade at premium levels. So can we completely rule out that the bottom is out for the broader end of the indices?
So even many of the stocks were quite oversold, I would say, Lumisha. Quite oversold. And now we are seeing the bounce back coming back into the markets, which is likely to continue. Right? The bounce back is continue now to say whether the mid and small cap indices are fairly valued or whether they've bottomed out is as of now difficult to say. I would say that yes, large cap relatively were quite at an attractive level as compared to that of mid and small cap stocks. And that's still right. And we've got few of the outperformers like Kotak Bank, right? And SBI cars and Bajaj Twin from the large cap of Vishwa Finance, and they're doing quite well. I mean, they outperforming the index for respective indices. Uh, but to say the same about the small and mid cap, I would say that yes, there has been a lot of oversold stocks which are in oversold regions, so there can be some bounce back. But whether most of them are bottomed out is going to stay there. Large cap has a high probability, I would say, relatively.
Okay, okay. Jay, one stock that was the talking point today was definitely a Bajaj Finserv. It is top Nifty loser, however. Of course, its insurance buyout news of the two ventures also came into limelight. In its interview today, Sanjeev Bajaj with CNBC TV 18 also confirmed plans of IPO for both the life and general insurance businesses going ahead. How do you believe that this statement is going to impact the insurance stocks from here on? And what does it mean for the overall insurance space too?
See, I would say I'm bullish on the entire BFSI segment, whether it is a Bajaj Finance or Bajaj Finserv, I think, which is holding company having back, speaking most of them. See, I would say that insurance sector is likely, if at all they would see good, policies going forward as far as the government policies, which is quite supporting for the insurance and, hoping to see further uplift as well as overall, I would say that there is still much more room for this company to expand their business in India. And if India economy is growing, then definitely they are likely to grow and they are likely to have a better market share going forward as well. There is no denial in that. So I'm quite bullish on BFSI as a control sector, I would say. And because going forward, as far as the derivatives data is also concerned, as far as Bajaj Pinto is concerned, mainly. I would say that yes, there was a lot of shorts which got built up here, and we are seeing a good amount of shorts going. In fact, now we have started to see good long build up as well on Bajaj Finserv. So I would say that I'm bullish on this stock. Continue to see further uptrend at least until 2000 level. I find Bajaj Finance relatively better because there has been a clear breakout and stock has seen good amount of short covering because of which we have seen a breakout coming in after 4 years of consolidation. So I think Bajaj Finance relatively doing better than Bajaj Finserv, but then Bajaj Finserv can also inch towards 2000. And overall, I'm bullish on the insurance.
Okay. What is your target for Bajaj Finance, Jay? You did mention about
Oh,
Bajaj
but
Finserv.
as far as Bajaj Finance is concerned, I mean, Louis, I expect this stock going forward to get into 5 digits for sure. Because see, in this kind of a market, there are only handful of stocks which you can find near their lifetime, right?
Mm.
So one of which I cannot comment or even give any clear view because as a disclaimer, I work with ICICI, so that is, I don't give my comments on ICICI Bank, but I can say that it's pretty near its lifetime. Right? That's an information. Now, you see Kotak Bank, that's now provided a breakout from a large consolidation getting to its lifetime high. Well, getting closer, I mean. Bajaj Finance is one of that. So, I mean, this kind of a market where Nifty is still down by more than 3,000 points from its high, approximately 3,500 points. Bajaj Finance is at its lifetime high. So, there is a clear outperformance. After a few years of consolidation, I think it will likely be getting 5 digits.
Mm. Okay. One stock that also stood out, since we are talking about the banking sector itself, one stock also stood out, which was your ICICI Bank today. And it has reached one of its record high levels, which is your in 2025 at least. What is your target on ICICI Bank, and where do you see the stock to go from here on?
No, as I said, I am employed with ICICI Group. I am working with ICICI Securities, ICICI Direct as a part of
Okay.
ICICI Securities. I would not be able to comment on ICICI Bank.
Okay, yes, yes, of course, of course. Okay, let's move on now. Today we also saw quite a tearaway rally in sugar stocks. We saw Balrampur Chini, Sri Renuka Sugars, all of them did well. Sugar future prices were quite near a 3-week high. So, what do you expect the 1 or 2 months hold? Because we are seeing some supply concerns which is cropping up. What are you expecting on that front?
Well, this is one sector which I see as far as you want to have a real play on the commodity, Navisha, then I think that probably metals in that within that ferrous is looking really positive. So you can look at the ferrous metals coming non ferrous overall. But as far as sugar stock is concerned, I would say see that I would say that the stocks have corrected quite a lot for sure, and you can see a short-term bounce back. I mean, in the stock as far as Balrampur is concerned, it can bounce back to 525. No more now available in the FN. Otherwise, I would have been able to comment better because we get a good data, an idea from the derivatives as well whether long
Mm.
or short build up is happening. So I would have not comment technically. Technically, I would say that only above the levels of say 550 is what you can get a single given per gram of chicken. But it can bounce back to 525. This is the short term. So it's oversold. It can bounce back, but not sure for the larger trend.
Mhm. Okay, Jay, we discussed about a lot of pockets that you're on bullish on. You did mention about BFSI sector as one of them. What do you think is still overheated? We have seen a significant cool off, but you still find those valuations expensive on that sector.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that most of the things it's quite. I mean, you need to look at Nifty Pharma. What's happening there? And that's the only index which I feel has not corrected much and outperformed. And uh, in April, we really need to see that whether Donald Trump, this president, basically whether he repeat the history of which can lead to the underperformance of the Nifty Pharma. So I mean, in April, you really need to check from April to also that whether any bad news is coming with respect to the pharma sector, and that is relatively that can correct. Otherwise, if you see Nifty Realty, Nifty Oil and Gas, Nifty Consumer, Durable, or maybe Consumption, all of them have beaten down quite a lot. I mean, they've all underperformed the Nifty, in fact, right? But metals and banking have outperformed, and I think that there has been a reason for that. As I said, the rate like likeliness. I mean, there's a good chance of it going forward, and that is what hence bank Nifty is outperforming, and I mean, that's why reality as a overall, I'm sorry, metals as overall global plays outperforming. But I think only Nifty Pharma is the place where I'm a bit quite, I would say, watchful. As far as April series is concerned, based on the actions of the US president. Otherwise, based on tariff and etc. Otherwise, I don't find any most of the sectors quite oversold as of now. So I think there is a likely chance of a bounce back rather than
Mhm.
seeing a pullback from up to down.
Okay, all right. Majority of the sectors are out of the oversold zone. You are saying that. Okay, all right. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much for your time, and hope that we connect with you soon.
Thanks for having me on the show and looking forward for more such conversations as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, we've come to an end of this edition of Closing Bell. Thank you for watching. Do stay tuned to moneycontrol.com for all the news updates and market insights.